So we'll invite next speaker. EMA Dharma Ratna. Two presenters are there, but presented by. Sorry. Other author is VABP Jaratna.
Good morning, everybody. Our research is about impact of music on education primary students in Colombo district. So, when moving to content of my presentation, firstly, introduction, research objectives, research hypotheses, literature review, methodology, data collection and analysis, outcome for the researchable areas, finally conclusion. So, in the presentation, education is the transmission of civilization. As all of us know, as a nation, when you are speaking about development of education, it is utmost important. So, meanwhile, music is a universal language of mankind. We know, as it is seen when we are focusing on the applications of music, it is seen in the screen, but especially we are focusing on the concentration power we can gain from music in order to enhance or empower the results of education. However, this is a picture of brain which coordinates all the actions related to education as well as music. So when we are speaking about the things done by brain, it does all the coordinations of actions done by us, and the metabolism happens inside our body also. So when considering motor and sensory homunculus of human brain for vocalization and also movements of hand, it has required a greater percentage in the brain. So it emphasizes that music it proves that music stimulates a greater area in brain, especially than other activities. So it is vital to speak about the growth rate of brain, or the brain size versus age in years when you are speaking about brain, because before birth and during the childhood, brain grows rapidly. So therefore, our focus, the scholars' focus of the authors towards the children and applying music for the education of children, especially primary students. So, research objectives are as follows. This research study aims to illustrate the capacity of alpha music or pleasurable music to enhance of academic performances of primary students in Colombo district through the level of concentration generated towards the paper they answer. Furthermore, our secondary objective is it will also be a pathway to analyze the impact of music students and other students and to evaluate its application on fields other than education. So, when going further, our research hypothesis, null hypothesis, is the provided background music while the test does not enhance the results of the IQ test of students, and the alternative hypothesis, the provided background music while the test enhance the results of IQ tests of students. So, when it comes to literature review, Steele 2014 speaks about applying classical music or pleasurable music on chickens and hens. So, he furthermore expresses, they say that stressed chickens stop flying, therefore they lay smaller eggs. But he introduces classical music or pleasurable music on hens, and then he furthermore emphasizes that they can result calmer hens, by that increased productivity of hens. So, in the same year, Kate study is about 6 undergraduates. A case study is going on about undergraduates. So, he speaks about access and retention of marginalized population within undergraduates music education. So, furthermore, in 2013, Gold and his team's studies about dopamine release in ventral striatum, and furthermore they speaks, though music entertains us all, the ultimate results depend on the person who listens to music. So when it comes to methodology, our focus was applying music to 2 sets. One set was provided with background music, pleasurable music or alpha music as background music. The other set was not. So our sample was selected from Philandala Central College, which is located in Colombo District, Western Province, Sri Lanka. So it was a mixed school where most of the students belong to middle economic category, and also we had selected 2 classes out of 9 classes, and they were studying in single medium. So when you are thinking about the IQ paper that we have delivered to them, it was the same IQ paper we had delivered to both of them, and the equal standards were provided to both of them except the music factor. It was a written MSCQ type and adopted the papers from Jayasinghe 2014, his module for grade 5 scholarship exam. So the paper ran for half an hour, and they were printed in high quality A3 papers, and also in the second period of the school we had given them we have distributed the papers to them, and the given surrounding was equal to them because both of the classes were in the same building and they were not closer to each other, and also the classes were not soundproof because they were wire meshed, and also 3 prefects and 1 of a scholar participated in the conducting or guiding them while the research. When we are speaking about the class B that we conducted without any music, we scholars instructed the students or the students to answer the question IQ paper well, and they were motivated to sacrifice their maximum to obtain more results, and then papers were distributed and they were corrected at the correct time. But when we are speaking about class A, which was given music, firstly the scholars informed them that we are going to let you listen some relaxation music and it will relax your mind, and briefly they were informed about the effects of relaxation on music and natural music. So then they were asked to listen all the sounds come from their surrounding environment. Then step by step they were directed towards the classroom surrounding. After that, about for 5 minutes the scholars were letting them to listen those music. While that at that time we distributed the papers to them, and they were also asked to put their highest attempt and to answer the papers. So the music was continued while the paper was going, and the relaxation music was downloaded from POTV.relax, and it was converted to audio format, and we used 140 decibel subwoofers inside 6 meter into 60 meter classroom. So when we speak about the data collection and analysis, we had to go to independent sample t-test because the samples were independent from each other, and also the data were in ratio scale, and they were normally distributed. Furthermore, no significant outliers were there, and p-naught value was taken as 0.05. Finally, the papers were collected from both of the classes and tabled, and we used SPSS software to analyze these statistical data. But before doing this test, it was required to ensure that both the IQ level of both classes were same. In order to do that, total marks of all the students of all the subjects of each student for last 2 term test were taken. Then average mark of subjects for each term test of each student taken. By that we calculated from the marks of 2 terms, mean average mark of a term of each student. Finally, we got these values for class A and B as average mark of one student representing from class A and B. So finally, this is the outcome of SPSS software that we got. 0.05 was taken as p-naught value. Furthermore, when we are going to analyze what we told, it means ensuring that the initial IQ level of the students are same. So in order to do that, it means A has got 64 and B has got 68 before they face our research. But there's a difference of 4, but we have to check whether it is due to randomness or because they are really both of the classes are having different IQ levels. So our alternative hypothesis was in order to check that IQ level, our alternative hypothesis was there's a significant difference among 2 classes, class A and B, before they face the test of the research study, and null hypothesis was there is no any significant difference among 2 classes before they test before they sit for our results study. So this shows statistical analysis shows that the p value that we got was 0.071. It means from the from the last two terms tests that they got, we analyzed that we got P point as 0.071. So it shows that P value we got is bigger than P naught value. So it means we have to accept our null hypothesis. It means there is no significant difference among two groups A and B before the test. It emphasizes that IQ level of both classes were initially same before we do the research. So now we are going to analyze our test mark. Analyzing the test of the research, alternative hypothesis shows the provided background music while the test does not enhance the results of IQ test of students. Alternative hypothesis says the provided music background while the test enhance the results of the IQ test of students. So the analysis is likewise season. For the test 1 and for the test number 2, we have got P values named as P1 and P2. It is clear that both P1 value and P2 value are greater than 0 P0. So finally we got the result. It means we have to accept null hypothesis H0, the provided background music while the test does not enhance the results of the IQ test of student. So our outcome was hypothesis is disproved. Exposure to music during the test has no significant difference on the performance of the students under the prevails given circumstance. So as this was a working paper, we will have to go for further research and we will have to do furthermore testing. Therefore, and also the students were not trained pleasurable music, so maybe a number of reasons may be there. However, we could not prove our hypothesis. Further researchable areas. Music as a learning tool relevant to, in our study we didn't consider about gender difference, we just took them in general, but if someone is going to research about this topic further, they can consider about gender difference and also about special needs students. Furthermore, we check their IQ knowledge or IQ level through the knowledge, and also the path is open to others to go test their skills which is related to learning or education, and also to check their attitudes. In conclusion, it is too much of important when we are speaking about expanding development horizons to education, research and innovation to apply music for the purpose. So this was a working paper. Initial phase of the study was completed. The second phase is to be yet conducted. So we hypothesized that we will be able to increase the marks of IQ test by providing pleasurable music or classical music to students, but it was disproved, and the coming phases are to be